So our vision is really to transform Ghana's economy through agriculture and have a huge ripple effect when it comes to building a trading and infrastructure hub in Ghana for the region. There are a lot of challenges in the market. There are a lot of inefficiencies in the market. You'll hear often talk about post-harvest losses. So farmers will produce their commodities, 10, 20, 40, 50, even 90% of some of those commodities go to waste simply because of storage or lack of proper storage conditions. Things like tomatoes go to rot. Even maize can suffer up to 40% post-harvest losses.
Farming is very important to every country because it provides food and jobs. But when it comes to Ghana, farming is so difficult that the youth doesn't have anything love for farming. Farming is difficult in Ghana because of inadequate finances, climate change, and poor pricing. Because of that, every year Ghana loses about 20 to 30% of cereal and 20 to 50% of roots, tubers, fruits and vegetables in storage and at the market. So now, the government of Ghana is working with banks and some private companies to make farming easy and more attractive to all farmers in the country. And one of these companies is GCX, which stands for Ghana Commodity Exchange. And their work is to help link buyers and suppliers of agriculture and non-agricultural products the country is producing. This will help reduce food waste in the country, and they will also help farmers to get loans from banks. Let's hear more about this from the CEO of Ghana Commodity Exchange herself. But make sure you share this video to every farmer you know so that they will take advantage of this great opportunity. Let's go.
This is the Ghana Commodity Exchange. Some have visited our office, but you will see when you come and spend time with us that it's really an organization that is bridging agriculture, technology, and finance. So it's very new, it's very innovative, and you'll start to see when we talk about our contribution to one of government's agendas, which is to modernize agriculture. You'll see that with the advent of the Ghana Commodity Exchange, we're bringing so many more youth into the field of agriculture just because of this tie into technology and the fact that agriculture really is a business. So here we're looking a little bit at the history. So we've mentioned the fact that it's been about 20 years that a Ghana Commodity Exchange has been in the making. Many feasibility studies were done in the past. In 2015, a project team was actually set up. Our now COO was actually heading the project team. And here, what we call the project design was done. So a couple of years were spent to really look at what a commodity exchange means in Ghana, how it can work in Ghana. Because of course there are commodity exchanges in other countries in the world we can learn from, but we have to make it relevant and particular to our current needs. In 2017, it was incorporated as a company, a private company limited by shares with government as the sole shareholder. So it's a private company, but government is the shareholder. And this is because what a commodity exchange seeks to do is a lot of social good. We'll talk about that in a few moments. So eventually, it will be open to private sector participation. We are looking really to build a public-private partnership because there is a business, but at the same time, we want to make sure that we can help to improve the livelihoods of smallholder farmers, and this is where government's interests really lie today. 2019, let's say we started operations. We started by trading maize. And here we're really deliberate. We go with one commodity at a time. We open one warehouse at a time. The idea is not to rush the process, but to make sure that at every single stage it's working. And this has really been our business model. 2020, of course, the Ghana Commodity Exchange suffered along with many other institutions with the onset of COVID, with lockdown. But 2021, we're back and trying to continue the good work that has been started. Public-private partnership, we've been in discussions with organizations who are interested, but we're going to take our time and make sure that the interests of smallholder farmers are looked after. So our vision is really to transform Ghana's economy through agriculture and have a huge ripple effect when it comes to building a trading and infrastructure hub in Ghana for the region. Now we have the African Continental Free Trade Secretariat based in Ghana. We have a commodity exchange that can service, all countries really in the world because it is electronic. So these are the three key areas we want to talk about today. The Ghana Commodity Exchange is there to intervene in these three areas: access to storage, access to markets, and access to finance. And all of these are geared towards improving the livelihoods, like I mentioned, of smallholder farmers, actually improving their economies, improving what they take home in their pockets. And this is also supposed to help with the agricultural economic transformation that the country is seeking to enter. So why a commodity exchange? Why have we started with agriculture? There are a lot of challenges in the market. There are a lot of inefficiencies in the market. You'll hear often talk about post-harvest losses. So farmers will produce their commodities, 10, 20, 40, 50, even 90% of some of those commodities go to waste simply because of storage or lack of proper storage conditions. Things like tomatoes go to rot. Even maize can suffer up to 40% post-harvest losses. And if you incorporate good storage facilities, you'll see that this can go down to almost zero. So this is money that is being lost due to things like poor storage. We have things like, the infrastructure issue. We have a lot of warehouses in the country, but you'll see that a lot of them are not fit for use. So they're empty, they're dilapidated. So we need to look at that as well. When we look at things, so transaction becomes very expensive. If you want to get a commodity, you have to go from farm gate to farm gate looking to gather commodities, and this is a challenge that we seek to address. Another one you'll hear about: standardization. So many of the commodities, and we're talking about food, what people eat, they're not standardized. So you can get a very poor quality maize, you can get a very high quality maize. Something like maize is standardized. So if you're looking to produce food for infants, for babies, you want to go for good quality. So this is one of the areas of intervention that we've come to play. There is no pricing mechanism. So as much as there's, no standardized grades, qualities, it means that people are paying the same price, whether it's for very good quality or very poor quality. This is an issue that we want to address. We talk about contract risk. So today, you go to the open market, you buy your commodities, or you go to the farm gate, you say, let me take some maize from you, I'll come and pay later. There's no guarantee that the farmer is going to come, see their money tomorrow. So we talk about contract risk, a lot of default in the market. And there's no system to enforce these contracts. And then finally, we talk about information asymmetry. So this really means that there's absence of reliable data when it comes to information, when it comes to pricing. And this means that there's a risk of price manipulation by middlemen who can go and say, well, I'm paying this, this is what it's worth. You cannot argue because there's no data. So here we've come to try and see how we can intervene. So we're moving away from, high transaction costs. We're moving towards efficiency. So where we have warehouses, every commodity that comes into our warehouses are graded, they're standardized. We make sure that it meets a minimum quality before it can enter, but we also tell you if it's a grade 1, 2, 3, or 4. So some of these things are there to reduce wastage. When a commodity enters our warehouse, actually you're not going to lose any of it due to poor storage. There's a maximum 1.5% loss, and that's just due to weight. It means that 40% of the goods you had before, which may have gone to waste, now they come into the warehouse, none of them are going to waste. So this is the idea behind that. We talk about order, standardization, trading within defined rules, because we are a rules-based organization. We're moving also away from contract risk to bringing integrity into the market. So here, because we're a rules-based organization, every single commodity that is sold is done through a contract and it is enforceable. So there's no more defaults in that area. Transparency. So now we start to share price and product information. So, there are some platforms that can say, today this is the price of maize or the price of, soybean. But with the Ghana Commodity Exchange, you will get the price by grade. So at the end of every trading day, you will get a text message to say, maize grade 1 was sold at this price. And all the farmers who are connected to the GCX network receive this information on a daily basis. So no more lack of transparency. We start to bring transparency into the market. What that means is that they can make, educated decisions about how much they wish to sell their commodity. So this is what we are. This is what we do. We are a trading hub. Let's say that we are a marketplace. So the same way you can go to Abobloshi to get your products, you can come to the Ghana Commodity Exchange to get certain commodities. It is not a physical marketplace. We do have a physical presence, but it's online. So people who wish to sell their commodities can sell them through the exchange. Those who wish to buy commodities can come to the exchange. So they don't have to keep running around to different markets. They can come and know that they're going to buy the quality that they're looking for, and they will receive the quantity that they've paid for. So this is really what we do. We guarantee payment to the sellers, and we guarantee the quality that the buyer has asked for. And this is really the role of GCX, is to provide those guarantees and provide those assurances to the market. So I mentioned why start with agriculture. Because it is a commodity exchange, it means that we can trade any type of commodity. And in the future, we will. We started with agriculture because of some of the challenges in the market and some of the issues that the government said they want to address. And we also decided to start with grains or food security crops. And this is really in line with some of other objectives of government. So we've heard of planting for food and jobs. The idea here is that there's going to be increased production of quality commodities, and as there's increased production, there's a need for further access to markets, local markets, international markets. So here we step in to play a role. We've started with grains. You'll see that very soon, some of you may have heard, we've even traded cashew through an auction trade. So the next stage is to move to cash crops, tree crops. You know that the government has established the Tree Crops Authority. So we're really working in tandem with the country's agenda, and we're introducing commodities along the same line. And then, in a later phase, we'll start to introduce other types of commodities like metals, minerals, gold, things like that. So it is really a wide exchange, but we're going, like I said, step by step, commodity by commodity, warehouse by warehouse. Today, we are trading what we call spot contracts. It means if you have a commodity you want to sell, you will sell it today. Within 24 hours, you'll receive your money. We call that a trade T+1. Trade today, get your payment within 24 hours. So a spot contract is for buyers who are looking for physical commodity. They want to buy and get the commodity to do whatever they want, so if it's processing, manufacturing, and so on. In the medium term, we will be introducing what we call forwards contracts and futures contracts. So these are other types of contracts and instruments. Depending on the commodity, a spot contract may not be the right type of contract. So some commodities are being sold on forwards and futures, and others are being sold through things like derivatives. So there really is a long-term plan, but for the next few years, you'll be really hearing about what we're doing to catalyze and improve the grains market for Ghana and for Ghanaian farmers. Working in Ghana. So we've started by trading in Ghana for Ghanaian farmers, but the next phase, when we talk about the region, we want to start with landlocked countries. We're already doing cross-border trade with countries like Burkina Faso, Niger. So the idea is to bring them formally on the exchange. So we're increasing access to markets. Then the wider African market. It must be said that it is a platform which has actually been designed to allow us to trade globally. So here, once we decide which future commodities that are really destined for a global market, we will be able to link up with other commodity exchanges and trade globally. So we're talking about access to markets in Ghana, access to markets within the sub-region, access to markets in Africa and globally, step by step. Next, I just want to talk about the GCX ecosystem. Again, forgive me if some of you know more than others, but I think it's a good opportunity to really explain and break down, what we're doing at the Ghana Commodity Exchange. It is a rules-based organization, as I mentioned. The exchange is governed under the Securities Industry Act. So the regulator is the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. So here we're really talking about well-defined rules and enforcement of rules. It's an electronic platform, so we have a trading platform. We have a base in the office. People can come and trade from there, but people can also trade from home or wherever they are. We have physical infrastructure, some warehouses. So those who are selling their commodities will come and deposit their goods in the warehouse. They'll receive a warehouse receipt. That's like title of the commodity. The warehouse system, or the warehouse receipt system and the central depository is linked to our trading platform, which is electronic. That is in turn linked to our clearing and settlement platform, so that as soon as a trade is made, all the information is already in the system and notes can go to the bank to pay the seller. So it's a very integrated system. It is a membership-based organization, so if anyone wants to trade through the exchange, they do have to become a member. But we're such that farmers are actually members. In fact, I might leave that to the questions and answers, because people often want to know, are farmers, interested and able to trade through the exchange? Is it not too technological? But we have farmers who are key members today of the Ghana Commodity Exchange. So we've been forming some partnerships. This is a huge job, and as you can imagine, it's not something which one single entity can do alone. The ambition is high. As it stands, we actually sit under the Ministry of Finance because we are trading securities. The warehouse receipts become securities. So here you have farmers who have securities to trade. So that's why I said we're bridging agriculture and finance, but we're also adding the technological elements. But we work very closely with the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, and we also work closely with the Ministry of Trade and Industry. So already it's cross-cutting. Because of some of the things, the interventions we're trying to do, a lot of organizations are interested in working with us. So we've been able to form quite a few partnerships with organizations like the IFC, supporting on training the financial institutions when it comes to warehouse receipt financing. We've worked with UNIDO. They've been helping to train cashew actors so that we can improve quality and generate more income through cashew. We've worked with so many. We have a project currently ongoing with the Venture Capital Trust Fund, and the idea of this is to put some funds to helping aggregators to increase the volumes of business they can do with smallholder farmers and thereby increase incomes as well. We have ARB Apex Bank. So this is something which I'd really like to talk about because it's been a breakthrough. You hear a lot about financial inclusion. We want to, open the market. We want people to have access to finance. And we know that farmers or smallholder farmers has been a really difficult class to be able to get credit. You need a house, you need land, you need some kind of, collateral before you can get a loan. And so it excludes, a lot of people in the market are excluded. And we talk about financial inclusion in agriculture. Today, with the Ghana Commodity Exchange warehouse receipt, again, that means when you take your commodity to the warehouse, even if it's just 20 bags of maize, you'll get a warehouse receipt. You can take this warehouse receipt to a bank, a financial institution, and you can get a loan for the value of your maize that you've stored there, so that if you don't want to sell it today, you can sell it 3 months later, maybe when the prices are higher. You've got money to go about your business, and when the prices are higher, you can get good income. So this is revolutionary, and it started. The ARB Apex Bank dedicated a 50 million cedi credit line towards this warehouse receipt financing. So some farmers have already started to access loans or credit through this. So these are some of the partnerships we wanted to mention, and there are more. We can talk about them later.